It's rolly on this one as we leave Harbour Island behind. We make a quick stop in Spanish Wells for fuel, and then McKenzie takes the wheel as we head out in perfect conditions for sailing. We had a great sail, but it was soon time to pull down the sails. We passed through a cut where we saw more than 4 knots of current. We made it to Hatchet Bay and had some fun that night. We had spent the previous few nights at Harbour Island in North Eleuthera in the Bahamas. All right, getting moving now. We're gonna head over to Spanish Wells. Actually, no, we're gonna head over to Hatchet Bay. We're gonna go through Spanish Wells and get fuel in Spanish Wells. So we're about to pull up anchor and do that. So, all right, let's get moving. Unfortunately, our chain tends to castle in the chain logger, so I occasionally have to go down and knock the chain pile over.
See, I'm the spit of you, and I'm not wrong. Bury my head too. Stomach hurts all the time. Can't shift it. Being like that sincere. Knotted up with the baggage. Neck like a stone. Oh, sounds just like you.
All right, entering the Devil's Backbone now. I've been through here half a dozen times or more now. It's real easy. If you just follow the magenta line on your charts, I've never seen less than 10 feet of water through here. It does get pretty tight, but just stay on the magenta line and you're fine. You know, people say you need a pilot or whatever. I mean, maybe if you got a big, you know, 100 footer or whatever, or, you know, and maybe that's just to cover your butt for insurance. You know, if insurance, if you do have a problem and insurance says, well, there's a pilot available, why didn't you get it? You know, they might come after you for that, but yeah, should be all right.
Smashing cups off the floor and kicking walls through.
Unfortunately, there was a fairly big north swell coming down, so as soon as we cleared the reef, it was going to get a little rolly.
I can talk to anyone. I can talk to anyone. I can't talk to you.
We had to hold on or we were going to get rolled right out of the boat.
I can talk to anyone. I can't talk to you. You kissed the forehead and I run like a top. No more than 4 stones soaked wet through. And I never seen.
All right, made it inside the protection of the reef again, so nice and smooth. Should be pretty smooth the rest of the way. We'll be in the lee mostly. Won't be in the big ocean chop anymore. There'll be maybe some wind waves with a little bit of fetch, but shouldn't be too bad. We passed through the town of Spanish Wells. On the south side of Spanish Wells, the power station has a fuel dock with the cheapest fuel around.
Look exactly like you, and I can talk to anyone. I can talk to anyone.
It's a pretty big dock because they normally receive tankers that pump fuel up to them.
To you, I can talk to anyone. I can talk to anyone.
On docks like this, I always have to remember to pull down my solar panels on the side of the boat.
Talk to you. Hey.
The staff helped us tie up and then ran the fuel line to us. This is a high flow, so it shouldn't take too long. McKenzie backed the boat off the dock while I helped push us off of the dock. It was great conditions for sailing downwind and 20 knots of breeze, so we unfurled the headsail. Our precision sails are holding up pretty good even after 6 years. Wow, jeez, I mean, I do not like this. Then you can't ever get this thing off. fucking snap. You can't get the fucking snap off. I don't like this enclosure. All right, we're moving.
I think it's a beautiful day. And I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying to be helpful.
Sailing at 6 knots and the motor is off. So, yeah. I mean, you know, especially if you're downwind, we got 19 knots of true wind with just the Genoa. I mean, you're still doing 6 knots. There's no need to put out. It's got this boat has so much sail that don't need a whole lot of it. We ended up doing about 7 knots downwind. It was a pretty great day for sailing. One of the best places to enjoy the sail is out on the bowsprit.
I can talk to anyone. I can talk to anyone. Hey, talk to you. I can talk to anyone. I can talk to anyone. Hey, talk to you. Come on.
All right, Clarice, come over here. You're gonna pull the trigger on that, okay? When I tell you. All right, go ahead. We were coming up on a pretty tight cut that we weren't going to be able to sail through, so we had to pull in the sails. Okay, you can stop. Stop, stop, stop. All right, I had to pull the sails down because we're coming through this cut. And we had to turn about 90 degrees and it'd be really on the edge if we could sail, and I don't want to have to deal with a sail flapping around in the middle of a really small cut like this. The good news is it's nearly low tide, so there shouldn't be a whole lot of current coming through here because it can rip, I believe, right through here. Because it's a very small cut and a lot of water moving from side to side. It was an hour before low tide and that current was still really moving. Not very rough in here, but there's more than 3 knots of current moving through this cut. 3.5, because we were doing 6.5 knots, now we're down to 3 knots.
Golden brown texture like sun lays me down with my.
And we would not have been able to sail through here. It's about 40 degrees apparent now, the wind is, so it would have been, the sail would have been luffing. Man, talk about some current, man. 4 knots of current through here. That's a lot.
Every time, just like the last, on her ship, tied to the mast, to distant lands, takes both my hands, never a frown, with golden brown.
So this is current settlement, and I guess this is their, town dock for getting supplies and stuff. And I mean, there's 3.5 knots of current going right by there. They probably have to tie up at like slack tide or something, because trying to dock this thing in 3.5 knots of current, I mean, I guess they can do it, but ugh.
Golden brown, fine a temptress, through the ages she's heading west.
It was a little over 10 miles from the cut over to Hatchet Bay, where we were headed for the night.
Never a frown with
Hatchet Bay is very well protected, 360 degrees, but it does have a very narrow cut entrance. This would be a pretty tight squeeze for some of the bigger catamarans. All right, go ahead. We found a nice place to anchor and McKenzie dropped the hook. With the anchor set, we attach the bridle. It was supposed to be pretty windy over the next few days, so I made sure the anchor was holding firm. I think somebody's on the phone. It's messing with the Wi-Fi. You can see our spot. Oh my gosh, what is going on? But anyway, we're just kind of going back and forth, so we're not dragging. So I feel pretty secure with this. And
Bobby,
we are gonna go ashore and have some happy hour. We're gonna cook dinner on the boat tonight. We loaded up in the Highfield dinghy and headed to shore. Some of the other cruisers were already having a happy hour there. We headed to the Boaters Haven Bar and Grill and Convenience Store. Cougar and Merlin are minis, which make them a little bit easier to handle than they did with Maverick and Goose. Several other cruisers were already hanging out at the bar. And there were plenty of puppy dogs to go around. After happy hour, we headed back to the boat to cook some dinner. Steak was on the menu. This time I got them perfectly medium rare. After dinner, we headed back to the bar, and this time the inside was open. It was quite the vibe. Did you know that less than half of our viewers are actually subscribed to the channel? It would really help us out if you make sure you're subscribed. Thank you so much to the Sailing Doodles Navy. They got early access to this video as well as access to our weekly member-only videos. You can join for as little as $8 a month, or you can get a whole year with 2 months free.